The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? It is The Purge, but for sex, and you have exactly 12 hours to make it happen before the government puts you back on ice for another year. Amber and Scott are exploring the absolute chaos of one night only, where they have to decide if they would fight for their partner, settle for a stranger, or just give up and move to another country entirely. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
What is your obsession with booking horror movies?
This would be a horror movie to you, wouldn't it?
I mean, not now. Not now.
If you are the Dayton type, it would definitely be a horror movie.
Well,
I get
it's not
that.
even just that. Like, it's premarital. So, like, you can have people who are in relationships and have been for a long time, but if they didn't say I do, the government says you can't.
Yeah. All right, folks, welcome to Cinema IRL. This episode, we are talking about One Night Only. And this is a world where the U.S. government has outlawed premarital sex.
What election scheme went down to allow that to happen?
You know what? Anything's possible in this day and age.
Yeah, guys, you guys don't let the Republicans win.
And if you are not married, you have one day a year where you can have at it, kind of like The Purge, where they can kill people one day a year.
It's the purge for fucking.
Yes. Oh, wait, okay, bleep. But it's 12 hours. So here's the other thing.
It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, geez. Okay. So they have some sort of biosensors on their wrists, and they get to pick whatever shape it is because, you know, you have a choice in America. And it is red 364 days a year saying, yeah, off limits, can't do the deed. And then for this 12 hours from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., your little biosensor turns green. And somehow, some way, this technology allows them to, oh, here's the other thing. You gotta wear a condom. So it's not even like, okay.
How do they enforce that?
Somehow the biosensor, that biosensor's probably sensing semen or something. I don't know.
Semen detected.
Semen detected.
Calling authorities.
So, yeah, you have...
Bro, your pullout game is weak.
So we start an hour or so before the one night, and this movie is a product placement dream come true because
Dear God.
We are in New York City. There are billboards and advertisements and subway ads all over the place.
Duolingo for sure.
Talking about one night only, and get this, for one night only. And obviously it is a dream come true for a company like KY Jelly, who obviously very linked to having your one night of sex. So our main characters are Owen and Allie, and they are not together. They do not know each other at the beginning of the film. The film starts off with Owen planning this lovely, beautiful, romantic night for him and his girlfriend because they've only had sex twice before because they live together, but they are not married. So he wants to make it special and takes her to this amazing restaurant and has this whole romantic night planned. And she says, yeah, you know that neighbor in our building? I want to bang him. Okay, she doesn't say it like that, but that's pretty much what she's saying.
That's pretty much what she said.
Yeah, I want to expand my horizons. And I don't want to be with you tonight. I want to be with my hot neighbor. And I want to do it in our apartment. So could you leave? She's a real gem. So that takes us to our first what would you do? What would you do if you were in a relationship with someone that had been, at least 2 years because you've had sex twice? And she says, I want to be with someone else this night that we're allowed to have sex. I don't want it to be with you. I want to be with somebody else who lives in our apartment, who you know is a neighbor.
Yeah. First of all, I wouldn't be there because I would no longer be an American citizen if I was single.
You'd move out of the country?
Wherever. Doesn't matter.
You'd move to Zimbabwe or...
Yeah, I'd find refuge in one of those places that usually comes to us to find refuge. And I think a lot of people would do it too. Yeah, no, I'm not happy about this. Like, I was with you for the whole year just to get to bang you for 12 hours. And now you want to bang the neighbor? Bitch, please.
And he's already had like all this expensive meal brought to their table, so he's also on the hook for the money. Not that you have to put out girls if a guy buys you dinner, but could you have had this conversation before the night? And here's the kicker. She seems to think that she can have her little tryst with the neighbor and then they just go on. Like everything's just like, okay, well, you can do what you want tonight. This is what I'm doing tonight. So she's giving him free license to go and have a good time as well. But then you're just returning to normal tomorrow, of which you won't be able to have sex with your boyfriend or girlfriend again for another year. So that means 2 years since you've had sex. So, I mean, how do you handle that situation?
Yeah, not well. Not well at all.
I mean, do you just say, okay? Do you go out and find some other girl to bang? Do you break up with her on the spot? Do you say, I don't want to talk to you again? Do you say, I'm not leaving the house? Like, there's so many things that are going on with that.
Yeah. This is definitely, we normally here at Cinema IRL like to ask the question, what would you do? And for this episode, we're going to make it's more like, who would you do? So, I know, I'm breaking up on the spot. Like, if you hit me with this, like, days before, maybe there's a way that I can be cool with it because there's enough planning time, there's enough other things. Like, if this is a thing that you feel like you need to explore in our relationship, then I can explore it too. But the way she dropped it on me, she was like, yeah, it's an hour before we can get it on, but I'm going to do it with the neighbor.
Yeah, so she already has her safety net plan in place of what she's going to do. And even if he was into it, you still put him at a severe disadvantage because now at the time the clock strikes 7, which is when the mandate is lifted for 12 hours, then he's trying to troll for somebody. So even if everyone was game, that's kind of a crappy thing to do to someone.
Yeah, and that's honestly, it's more about that than it is the actual sex for me. It's I'm leaving you high and dry.
Yeah.
And I could have not, but I'm going to. So, yeah. See ya!
Yeah, I would be none too happy if someone wanted to do that as well. And the thing is even if someone is open and receptive to the idea of your partner experimenting, you live in a world where now, best case scenario, you have 2 years until you can be intimate with your partner again. So any rift...
2 years?
Well, because the year they had sex last year, you don't have
2
sex
years
together this year.
between.
Yeah. And there is, your ability to repair that rift looks a lot different in a world that you're not allowed to have a physical relationship with that person.
Yeah, this reminds me of the movie Demolition Man. I don't know if you saw it, where basically all sex was outlawed. Instead, they put on these helmets that did brain transmissions back and forth, and
I did not see this.
And
no. I know it's a popular movie. I've not watched it.
Yeah, it was when Sandra Bullock tried to have sex with Sylvester Stallone, and that was awkward.
Well, they didn't. They're not real people.
But
who
apparently,
did that.
even
They're
married,
characters.
you didn't do married either. Like you went to a lab if you wanted.
Okay.
So maybe not. At least here you can get married. And by the way, I just want to note something. I have a fascinating business idea for this world.
For the world in the movie? Yeah.
Yep.
What is it?
It's a business called One and Done. It's kind of like a wedding chapel, only it does the wedding chapel, and then the next day it does the nullification.
So you could use it for the other 364 days a year. If you wanted to just get busy with
Yes.
someone, you could get married to them for 24 hours?
Yeah, basically you come in.
The government's going to shut that down.
Why not? Why? They're getting married.
Well, in a world that actually is like this, I'm sure that's possible.
Unless
for them
it takes time to go through the system for your red to turn green. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this 5G technology in my arm.
Yeah, that actually turns colors back to the original color after those 12 hours.
I still like the name of the business, though. One and Done.
It's clever. It's very clever. So the rest of the movie, we have Owen trying to, at this point, he's bought into saying, okay, yeah, well, fine. I'm going to find someone. Even though we know Owen is a romantic and he's not so much about the just getting it on with someone. He wants to care about them. He wants to have a relationship with them. He wants to get to know them. But because of the circumstance, he is saying, okay, well, fine. She's going to do this. I'm going to do it too.
If this is the hand I've been dealt, then I'm going to run with it.
Yeah. And at the same time, we have another character named Allie, and she goes out every year with her friend. They're trying to find the right guy. They usually wind up finding a one-night stand, and it's just about the sex. And she kind of doesn't want to go, and then her friend ditches her, and she reluctantly is participating in this night because, you know, this is the night, and she has a friend that pretties her up and sends her out. And that is the beginning of several chance encounters with Owen. And she has repeated interactions with Owen accidentally throughout the city of New York, which of course is very plausible, right? But as they look for someone else to get it on with, they keep finding each other and being like, nope, not you, not going to happen. And then they go on their quest again. They accidentally bump into each other again.
Yeah. At a certain point, you got to be like, Kismet's doing this to us. Like,
the universe wants us to spend time.
I mean, it really is. Like, the universe will talk to you. The question is whether or not you want to listen.
Yeah.
And you're in New York City. Even bumping into each other a second time is crazy. Bumping into each other a third time is like, nah, this is the universe saying, you two, get it on.
Yeah. So one of the very important parts of One Night Only, as I mentioned before, is you have to use a condom. So if you do not have condoms on hand by the time the clock is struck 7 p.m., it is very difficult to find a condom because people are getting it on in alleys and doorways and public places and fire escapes. And Owen has a chance to do his, finally pop his cherry, I guess. Not that he is, but, he finally finds someone to do the deed with, and he doesn't have a condom. So he goes running across the city trying to find a condom. And this is one of the times he ends up bumping into Allie, which he already bumped into earlier in the movie when they literally bumped into each other on the sidewalk.
They're both fighting to pay $200 for a condom.
Yeah, there is a woman who runs a bodega. She has basically the display condom in a very fancy display with 2 gold-encrusted people and a condom in the case. She sold out all the condoms. There is the display condom, and she wants $200 cash for it. And both Owen and Allie want it, and then another couple comes.
A third couple as well. They're like $200 to bang. I mean, yeah.
So what would you do if you finally had the opportunity to, like, okay, I found my person, we're going to do it, and you realize you didn't have a condom? What lengths would you go to get that condom?
Me?
Yeah, I know you're a horn dog, so probably any length.
No, probably not, actually. I hate condoms.
Well,
but then again, I do.
But it's the law, and to get it on, you got to wear a condom.
Yeah.
I mean, I see you, I don't know.
I have walked away from sex in the past because they wanted a condom and I didn't have one. And I was like, no, I'm good. There's a lot of circumstances there. I'm not going into them on the show. So it wouldn't be the first time that I had walked away from sex because of a condom. You are looking at me horrified right now. Absolutely horrified.
Okay. You can have sex one time a year. I do not believe that you are taking your stand of not going to do it, not going to ever have sex again because I'm not wearing a condom unless I'm married. Or actually, on the flip side of that, I see you saying, yeah, hey, random chick over there, want to get married?
One and done.
So no, you're not going to do one and done. You're gonna stick it out for like, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks so you can get some and then store it up. And then if you want to get divorced,
store it up. What am I storing?
Well, you're just kind of humping and jumping there for a month, and then you're gonna store it up, and you're like, I'm good for a while.
Yeah, we need to take a break. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Overwhelmed by the technical side of podcasting? Duncast makes creating a professional-sounding podcast incredibly simple.
I was terrified of the technical side of podcasting. Duncast made it so simple that I launched my first episode in under 30 minutes.
Just record, and our patent-pending AI tools handle the rest, giving you studio-quality sound at a fraction of the time and cost. We also distribute your show to all major platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so all you have to worry about is being the creator.
If you want it done fast, use Duncast. Visit Duncast.com to start your free, no credit card required trial today.
And we are back.
I'm still laughing at myself.
Yeah.
I'm laughing with me, not at me. So
no, I mean, so you were asking me about the condom and what would I do if I didn't have one and needed to get one. Here's what I want to know, and this is the weird thing. What does the condom industry look like at that point? Because the only people, at least in the U.S., that can have sex are married, and I would assume in general that it's probably like, hey, if you're married...
A lot of married people, and by a lot, I'm not saying percentage or anything, but some married people do use condoms because they don't want to have a baby randomly, and they want to plan their family and be strategic about family planning. And some married people do use condoms.
But in this new world, I feel like...
I mean, yeah, they're suffering. They're suffering. And the fact that that one lady was gouging them for $200, I would think the base price for condoms should be $200. Like, that's just what it costs because the condom companies have to make up for all the sales they're not making for the rest of the year.
Listen, I'm not getting laid. I'm importing condoms from Europe, and I am just selling them. And that's it. I'm not going to get laid. I'm going to get rich.
And when Owen can't find a condom, he starts to be creative of like, hey, can I turn this latex glove into a condom? Which then...
Slaps him in the face.
Yeah. So, and in this world of you can only have sex once a year and you can use a condom, there is virtually no teen pregnancy. There is virtually no spread venereal diseases and sexually transmitted diseases because society's relationship with sex is drastically different than it is in our reality today.
Yeah.
So,
bro, I have condom for you.
So
Sick
Allie
deal.
winds up meeting a guy, just another guy, and she thinks, this is a guy I could really have a connection with. And, I think I want to give him my condom because she winds up, long story short, she and Owen gets the display condom and she winds up getting it. So she has a condom to play with for the night. And
extra wide.
Yes, extra.
We're not even talking about the horn dog 12-year-old.
Yeah. And so she's like, okay, well, I have this guy, and it seems like we have a connection, and someone steals the condom from her purse.
Yeah, mind you, they went through her purse. They left all the valuables.
Yeah.
They just took the condom.
Nothing, no money, no credit card is of any value if you need the condom.
Like, man, we think with our genitals sometimes as a society.
No, yeah, as guys, a lot of you do.
So y'all women ain't much better.
Yeah, and I actually kind of did this out of the order. This was her first condom. She winds up getting a condom later with that $200 in the display and whatnot. This is her first condom.
Well, they didn't pay for it.
So
because they stole it.
So she winds up going back to this guy's place, and he just seems perfect, and he has a nice apartment, and she's just like, oh wow, this is a guy that I could really have a relationship with, and we're so connecting, and I'm not just having sex because it's the one night. This could be something special. And then turns out he is a parolee who is not allowed to have sex.
So apparently, if you're on parole, you can't bang.
I guess you lose rights. I guess. So he was wearing a bracelet to cover his red color tattoo. So if you were Allie and you think, okay, I've done it, this is my thing, and then your guy gets carted off to jail, and then you get carted off to the police department to testify, are you at that point calling it a night saying, okay, I tried to do this, is not meant to be? Or do you still keep saying, I'm going to get back out there and I'm going to try and get me some before the clock strikes 7 a.m.?
Yeah, no, the universe has told me that you're not getting laid tonight. And I'm going to listen to the universe. I'm just going to go.
Are you?
I'll just go home and whack it. It's fine.
Well, that's like the other 364 days a year, though. So we then have Owen, who is also trying to get him some. And he eventually turns to, there's this app that appears to be a bunch of people who are looking for someone for the one night. And he's looking through there and he finds a girl who's willing to just meet him in the park. Like, meet me in the park. And I initially thought, okay, someone wants to meet you in the park, he's going to rob you.
Yeah, that's kind of what the impression I got too is like, yeah, no, dude, if this is not going to end well for you. So I am not meeting this person in the park.
No, I mean,
though in fairness, they could, listen, you're all about trying to get your willy wet here this night. You are prime target for anyone.
Oh, yeah,
Like pickpockets are like, this isn't even a challenge.
Yeah, because everyone's making out, everyone not paying attention. And if my last recourse was to go to an app of desperate people who were trying to find someone
Tinder.
for this 12-hour free pass, I'd be thinking, what kind of person? I mean, on one hand, okay, kudos for the good old college try there, but I don't know. I just think that would be a certain kind of person that would literally just, we'd be in and out, so to speak, in 5 minutes.
That dude was swiping right in turbo mode. Yes.
And so he finds the girl who says, meet me in the park. And I thought, yeah, this isn't going to end well. And she's basically waiting in some bushes for him. And he's like, okay, well, let's go and get started. And she brings out a zip tie and kind of,
let's get freaky.
Yeah, and ties his first arm to a limb of a tree.
And then,
what would you do if you met this stranger and her first thing was kiss me, and now I have bringing out zip ties?
I'm good with the kissing. I'm not good with the zip ties.
So would you allow that first arm to be confined to the tree limb with a zip tie?
No.
Yeah, I would.
No, just no. Well, it also depends.
It depends.
Well, no. Do I have anything on me worth robbing?
Well, he's naked. All of his clothes and his wallet and his phone, everything is on the ground. Remember, he's got nothing on but his birthday suit.
Well, yeah, I know, but
so if you didn't, okay, so that's the metric for you. If you don't have anything worth taking, you're allowing her to restrain your arm?
Probably still not, but
probably. Okay, so it's really not about anything other than being robbed for you.
Yeah, it really matters at that point exactly how horny I am.
Okay.
Exactly. How about we go start a little vanilla, girl?
All right. So after the first limb is confined to the limb, our arm limb, body limb, tree limb, she goes for the second one. What do you do when the stranger you met in the bushes at the park wants to restrain your second arm? Are you still whatever?
Doesn't matter. You're pretty screwed at that point anyway.
Well, there's a big difference between having one arm restrained and two arms restrained.
I guess. I mean, I guess they could slide their arm down to the end of the tree and get it off that way.
Oh, you can't slide your arm. It was on a limb. You're going to have the zip tie go through the trunk of the tree?
Well, not the trunk. It's a branch, and so you're...
Yes, with other branches. Do you know how trees work?
I know how trees work. It would depend on... Because here's the thing. If it's actually like a large thing at this point that's just like way too large, you're never going to be able to get to the end of something like this, then if you got the one, you might as well have the second one because I'm screwed. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, you're trying to get screwed.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not going anywhere. I can't get the zip tie off.
So what I'm hearing is, you want me to wear a condom? No way, I'm out. But hey, random stranger in the bushes, you want to restrain both my arms and maybe I can get my, I don't know, what did you say? Your willy dipped? You're like, okay.
I got to mark this.
So it's good to know where your lines are. So as expected,
well, I'm just saying, if I let the first one, then
the first arm,
I'm probably just letting the second one and hoping for the best at that
whatever
point.
happens.
I just wouldn't let her dip the first one.
Okay. So as suspected, she takes his stuff, says, got another day, gotta go. And Allie and Owen meet another time now in the police station because the guy she was with and the felon winds up getting arrested. She had to go down and test, give some information to the police. And Owen now is a crime victim who had his wallet and clothing stolen. And so they meet again. At this point, I know you were talking earlier, like you keep meeting and you give into it, but Allie is not into having this be a thing. And he keeps saying, like, do we think this is a thing? Do we think this is a thing? And she's like, no, not a thing.
Yeah, so that's the second meetup. I mean, listen, like, they're both...
Well, it's the third. It's the third one. The initial one where they meet on the sidewalk, and then when they meet over the condom in the bodega, and then now at the police department.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm probably... Listen, if I'm him, I'm laying it up. I'm like, girl, it is clear the universe wants us together tonight. How about we just make the universe happy? Now, am I saying that mostly to get in her pants? Probably. But do I also believe it? Yeah, probably as well. So if I'm her, you just convince her, like, girl, this is fate. Start using those chick words. The words chicks like to hear.
Okay.
Destiny.
Oh, yes. So they leave the police station. They wind up finding their way to a party. And she can get in and he can't, but eventually he gets in and sees her and they reconnect again. And it so happens the musical act at this party is a guy that both Owen and Allie were talking about earlier in the evening, where she said, oh yeah, oh my gosh, he is the guy. I love him. I love everything about him.
I would panty drop that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, she is gaga over him as a musician herself and a singer. She loves him. He's an activist who's coming out against the mandate. And she's like, yeah, this is my guy. And it turns out he is the one singing at the party.
Yeah, she's like, I would totally panty drop him, and then, oh, look, there he is. And then at the same time, this, because she got into the party at first, he did not.
Yeah, she was dressed nicely, and he was just wearing regular clothes because he didn't know he'd been out trolling for the night.
Yeah, but then this one, apparently very rich lady, it sounds like the owner of the club.
Yeah, she paid
rolled
for
up, and she was like, no, that guy's my toy for tonight. Bring him in.
Yeah, and she definitely had eyes for Owen. And
I mean, you're her, and you look at him, and you're like, okay, boy toy.
Yeah. And at the same time, it looks like both of them are going to get lucky. They're going to get their person for the night. Owen has the British woman who seems to be in charge of the party, and Allie has the musician. What was his name? Something Strong.
I don't remember.
Anyway, so
Ezra Stone.
Ezra Strong.
Stone.
Are you sure? I thought it was Strong. I saw stuff. I saw stuff on the subway that said Strong. Maybe they
I'm
were
reading
saying
a name here and it says Stone.
Maybe they were saying Ezra Strong, like when we say, Pacific Palisades Strong, Minnesota Strong, like when something happens. I don't know. Anyway, so she sings and Ezra's like, oh yeah, we're both musicians. You're hot. Let's go to my place and, we'll celebrate our one night.
Her panties are like literally melting off of her.
Yeah, and she's like,
drive.
oh my gosh, dream come true. I can't believe I met the one guy who is like the dream.
The one guy after the first guy.
Well, yeah, the first guy she was really into, but this is your celebrity crush, the one that you never think you would meet.
This is Gail Daughtry area.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, check our episode out.
Yeah.
For that, I believe it's episode 300.
So they go back to the studio where he has a place and a bed, and she excuses herself to go to the bathroom, and she comes back, and he has his shirt off, his pants are kind of hanging down a little bit under his underwear, and he has a guitar strapped across him, and he's singing about Allie, and you think, oh, he's singing a song about Allie.
This is a sweet song. Like, this dude who I'm already ready to just completely panty drop for is now singing a song he made up on the spot about me.
Yeah, and she is just like, oh my gosh, swooning. And then she tries to sing with him because she sang earlier in the club, in the party, and they're both singers, and this is feeling their connection and everything.
Not a duet.
So, yeah, she tries to join him, which seems perfectly reasonable. He shuts her down, not a duet, and continues to sing. Okay, before we move forward, what would you do if someone just kind of shut you down like that? Because that, to me, says a lot. Like, okay, you're having this song, I'm excited, I'm like all hard eyes, and then I try and join you, and the guy shuts you down. Nope, not happening.
Yeah, so he goes from a 10, which is a 10 due to rounding, because at this point, the dude's probably like a 10.4.
Yeah.
And, okay, maybe he loses a point. Okay, so he's still a 9.4.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still panty dropping.
Yeah. And then he starts making it dirty.
I'm gonna F her face.
Yeah, dirty, just like, okay, there's nothing magical or beautiful about this interaction. He wants to use you and abuse you like a frat party sex doll.
Yep. And
So if you were Allie at this point and you realize, like, wow, I am just an inanimate object that he wants to stick his penis in all of my holes and send me home on the walk of shame. So what would you do if you were Allie? Would you still have the dream of being with Ezra Stone, the guy that is just like the ultimate to you? Because then you could say you did, or would you say, yeah, no, I am not demeaning myself in this way?
Here's the thing. She didn't even have to make a decision. Ezra made the decision for her by being an idiot, dancing around on a piano, getting the wires wrapped around his legs, and then falling and nearly murdering himself.
Okay, but my question still remains. What would you do if you now saw this other version of Ezra Stone?
I mean, as a guy?
No, you're Allie.
If I'm
Pretend that you're a reasonable human being and that you're Allie.
I mean, no, I'm out. If the roles are gender reversed, I mean...
Or what would you do?
I'm a pig. I'm probably into it.
Wow, okay. Yes, our rules are not just gender specific. You can put yourself in a what would you do for a man or a woman. So what I'm hearing is if you had no self-esteem or self-respect, you would still be like, I want to sleep with a celebrity.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
If it were me, what would I do? I would be, I'm out. I'd rather, I don't know, stick my vagina on a fire hydrant and get off that way. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. The things that are coming out of my mouth in this episode are really troubling. But there is no way in HE double hockey sticks I would be getting it on with Ezra Stone.
I like how we noted that we're going to mark this as explicit, and you went there with the HE double hockey
Yeah,
sticks.
It does seem kind of unnecessary based on the other potty mouth things I'm saying tonight. But this movie obviously is an unusual movie that
bringing out the best in you.
I don't know about the best, probably the worst. So they, once again, Allie and Owen meet up again when Owen's tryst with the British woman goes sideways because he can't take her home. She doesn't want to go to her house.
Yeah, hang on. I'm jumping in immediately on this one. I'm not taking her back to my parents' house where I already know my mom, Molly Ringwald, is doing something weird with LeVar Burton.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, that was LeVar Burton.
Okay, so yes,
he was trying to show her his reading rainbow.
The British woman doesn't want to do it in her own place, so says, let's go to your place. Owen can't go to his place because his girlfriend is getting it on with the neighbor. And yes, he decides to go to his mom's house, which is ridiculous because he was there earlier and already saw his mom wanting to get frisky with whoever this guy is. Whoever this guy is to her. It wasn't completely clear if it was a friend or a boyfriend or whatever.
You know your mom's getting it on inside. Like, she's told you, I'm getting it on inside.
Yeah, and I guess he thinks if he stays downstairs and they're upstairs that he can get it on the couch and while her mom is getting busy upstairs. But that does not work out because his mom and his mom's honey walk in on them. And then again, his opportunity to have sex falls apart.
Go to the pizza shop. Take her to the pizza shop.
I mean, there's not a lot of good places to do it in a pizza shop. I mean, I guess
had a better option?
I don't know. I mean, okay, here's a question. What do hotels and motels look like? You want to talk about the condom industry and what they make?
Booked.
Yeah, it's like, I bet you have to make those reservations the day after the one night to get it for the next year. Because, if even impromptu, even the places where all the hookers hang out.
Hotels are like $5,000 a night. People are paying.
Yeah. So Owen and Allie end up meeting again after this. And at this point, they have gone through a lot.
Actually, if you're the hotels, you charge by the hour.
Yeah, you could turn that off or turn that over. But it's nice that the mandate has allowed some, I don't know, cuddle time in there. It's not just like at 10 p.m. to midnight kind of thing. They made it until 7 a.m. So you could fall asleep a little bit and then, head on out and do your walk of shame at 6:45 a.m.
Well, not 6:45. You make sure you set an alarm for like 6:30 so that if you want to get any morning goodies, you can do that.
Yeah, folks do love their morning goodies. So we wind up again having these two meet up again. At this point, If you are Allie, who has been resistant to Owen throughout the entire evening, every time you repeatedly bump into him, are you finally saying, okay, let's just do it?
Yes. Yes. Like, he went to his pizza shop to be sad. She went to his pizza shop to presumably slob his knob.
To surrender. Okay, this is what's meant to be.
You got me.
And unfortunately, they're having this beautiful moment, and it looks like it's finally gonna be like, okay, they're gonna do the deed. And Owen's girlfriend calls, and he says to Allie, "What should I do?" What do you do if you're Allie and this guy, who you know has a girlfriend, and you know the story, what's happened here? What do you answer? He says, "What do I do? What should I do?"
The phone's on D&D. I never get the ring. I find out about it later.
But you see, not only do you see the call, but you see the picture pop up with the two of them, Owen and his girlfriend,
and
smiling and happy and hearts and stuff. And that pops up on his screen. And he looks at the phone, he looks at you, and he says, "What should I do?" What do you do if you're Allie?
I do the same thing she did, or didn't do the first time, but she dreamed about doing.
She fantasized. She has a fantasy life sometimes.
Turn that phone over, and you want to patch it up with your girlfriend later. Right now, I'm getting in those jeans.
Yes, she has a momentary fantasy where she just grabs him and kisses him, and they start getting it on in the back room.
In the pizza store.
Yeah.
See, it could have been compatible.
And you've bought into the fact that this is happening, and then snap, you realize it's not.
And the British girl liked unusual places. She said, "I like doing it in unusual places." A pizza shop would be pretty unusual.
She probably would. That whole movie could have ended much differently if Owen had thought, yeah, I own a pizza shop, kinky British lady, come do it on my pizza oven. So anyway, back to
do it on my pizza oven. Good Lord.
Come do it on my pizza oven. Okay, so Allie then comes out of her fantasy, and she says, you should answer it. I mean, back to my question, what would you do in that situation? You would just do the imagination, the fantasy scenario there of just be like, no, don't get it, and I'm going to kiss you all over again?
But here's the thing. Like, he already knows he banged her, but she hasn't truly, put it out there that she's willing to.
No, she hasn't been receptive, and he's naturally going to assume the entire time is like, there's something here, but she said repeatedly she's not into it.
The words that came out of his mouth were, should I answer this? The words that he was thinking when he said it was, do you want to have sex?
Yeah, he was asking her, is there a reason I should not pick up this phone call from my girlfriend?
And he is wanting her to say no.
Yeah.
But then she says, yes, go ahead, pick it up.
Yeah. And this is his girlfriend who says, I couldn't go through with it. Come home. What would you do if you were Owen and that happened?
No.
For me, you go take a long walk off of a short pier. You couldn't do it? Oh, poor baby. I'll come home now. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, not coming home.
So he goes home, and she's just acting like everything's all normal. Like, let's have sex. We still have an hour left or an hour and a half left. Let's do it. And he starts to kiss her and then says, no, I can't do this. And the last little bit of the movie is him trying to hunt down Allie.
Yeah, and she's all looking at him, and basically he's giving her
the girlfriend.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So, yeah. So
he has a somewhat of a say anything type moment. He doesn't quite hold up the boombox, but he does find where he thinks Allie lives, because that's where he bumped into her initially on the sidewalk. Yells for her, can't find her. Then she ends up being motivated by her roommate to go to this red lighthouse. And as we talked earlier, they can have a red or a green symbol, or a red symbol on their biometric on their wrist, and she chose a red firehouse. So she thinks maybe lighthouse. Yes, I'm sorry. And at the same time, she's heard that Owen came looking for her. So she's like, well, if he came looking for me, maybe he'll go looking for me at the red lighthouse. And she goes there. She doesn't find him. And then finally he shows up. So
because of course he did.
Yeah. So what would you do here is pretty clear.
Wait, what took him so long? Because she had to come home after he was yelling up.
Are you questioning how the New York City public transit system
I'm
works?
just saying that he was there and then left.
He was there at the
house, at the same place as Allie.
I don't know, maybe he
who then had to come home, hear about the yelling, and then get to the lighthouse. Wouldn't he already be there?
Maybe he stopped for a breakfast burrito. Gosh.
Oh, I did notice he had Dunkin', more of the
been
product.
Yeah, he had some coffee. Maybe stop for a donut or a breakfast sandwich. Give the guy a break. So,
what was their coffee order?
Black with 3 sugars.
Okay.
So at this point, they are both saying, okay, all right, we still have like 11 minutes before this ends. I like you, you like me, let's do it. And they run into the or why do I keep saying firehouse? They run into the lighthouse, and Owen, being the romantic that he is, basically says, do we really just want to do this because of the circumstance? Like, I'd like to get to know you. I would love for this to be something. And says, what if we don't do it? And at this point, they're, pushed up against a wall. They're all ready to go to town. And he says, maybe we shouldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, you're also looking at the clock. You're like, we got 10 minutes here. Like, do we want our first time to be a quickie in the lighthouse? I
gave it to you. It's contagious.
No, what?
You said the White House.
The White House.
And I said the firehouse, and it's really the lighthouse. So, yeah, I mean, obviously at this point, you are trying to squeeze it in just because you can. There's 11 minutes left.
Literally trying to squeeze it in.
Yeah, I had a funny feeling you were going to do that. So, would you say what Owen said if you thought maybe you could like this girl? Or if you were Allie, would you be like, no, let's do it?
Not. I remember thinking at that point in the movie, I thought, I really hope they don't do it at this point. Like, because that would feel super anticlimactic if they just whipped their parts out and gone to town.
Yeah.
In a lighthouse next to where they're filming a drug commercial.
So at this point, they don't do it, and we flash forward a year, and it's finally the one night again, and their little biometrics turn from red to green, and they retire to the bedroom and get it on.
Well, they were all kind of casual about it. They're like, hey, what do you want? You want to order some food? You want to...
So, I mean, and that's a really interesting thing. So at this point, they have been forced to actually have a relationship based on who they are as people and their personalities and their preferences without sex being a variable for them staying together for the entire year. What does that look like? Like, if...
Well, I want to know, besides the fact that I probably don't live in the U.S. during this, if I do still live in the U.S., I'm probably taking international trips.
Like, you're traveling internationally to get some and then coming back?
Yeah, I mean, you can bring the person with that you want, but you just got to be out of U.S.
You're racking up a lot of frequent flyer miles? That's your...
I mean, if we've been dumb enough to elect the officials that put us in this situation,
well,
hashtag fuck the mandate.
So, I mean, not everyone who votes for something gets what they voted for, but
how bad has our society gotten if we've elected people who are like, no sex before marriage?
I don't know. Anything's possible in this day and age. So your answer isn't that you just get to know someone for a year as just building a really solid relationship. You'd buy a bunch of plane tickets to go out of the country to get it on.
Well, I'm taking them with me.
Well, I understand. So you wouldn't just say, okay, well, for a year we are going to build a solid relationship. I'm going to get to know you. You'd be hopping on planes.
Like,
I'm not, no judgment. I'm just
11
asking.
11 plus months, and I'm not allowed to put my hee-hee in your hoo-ha. Like, I get
well, that's enough to make me not want to get on a plane with you if you're saying hee-hee and hoo-ha.
Wait for a few dates and all, but man.
That's an expensive date. If a date has to be not I'm taking you out to a nice dinner, but we're getting on a plane and we're going Oh, I guess you probably wouldn't fly anyone too far. You'd fly into Mexico or Canada.
I mean,
I don't want to go to Paris.
We're in a world where there's $200.
We're going to Tijuana.
Where there's $200 condoms. Let's.
I mean, think about how busy Tijuana is. If you're, on the western part of the United States, everyone's going to the Bahamas or Mexico or Canada.
Here's the thing. I really believe that if this happened, this would lead to an increase in early marriages. People would be like proposing on like the second date.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
Yeah, there's so many things.
I'm going to marry someone I don't even know just so I can get it on.
Well,
yeah.
I said second date. I said second date.
Great, yeah.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.